Hi guys, welcome back to Dimitra's Dishes. So today I'm going to teach you how to make my version of chicken saganaki. Really, I haven't ever seen chicken saganaki anywhere else. I just came up with it because I wanted to make something quick for my family one day and I wanted it to be really flavorful and delicious, and I had very little time to do it, so I came up with this recipe. I've taught you how to make shrimp saganaki and I'll link down in the cards or in the description box or maybe both places. So check it out if you haven't. Let's go over the ingredients and then we're going to get started. So over here I have some chicken breast that I've cubed. I have a little bit of sugar in case the sauce needs it, some salt, crushed red pepper flakes, black pepper, and dried oregano. I have some scallions for freshness, and then I have a can of tomatoes that I've pureed, and I've saved some water in here to rinse out the can with and to make the sauce. A little bit of olive oil, and then in this pan right here, I've finely chopped a small onion. You could use a quarter of a large onion if you didn't have a small onion. It's the same thing. And 3 whole garlic cloves. Now we're gonna head over to the stovetop so we can start cooking the chicken, which is step number 1. So you can totally do this in one pan, and you should. I just wanted to get a head start so this YouTube video can move faster. So you need a frying pan or a sauté pan that is oven proof, because this is going to go under the broiler. So you want to make sure it has a handle that won't melt once you put it in there. So while the pan is heating up, we're going to season our chicken with just some salt and pepper. If you've been watching this channel, you know that we always season every step of the way so we can have some maximum flavor in our food. And we do both sides, always. Salt, pepper, that's all you need. So we're gonna put a little bit of oil, maybe like a 1/4 cup in our pan. Swirl it all around. And if I were to put all this chicken in here, instead of browning and cooking and developing a little bit of color, this would just release water and it would become a mess. So we're gonna do this in a few batches. And we're gonna cook the chicken just 2 minutes. And then we're going to flip the side and take it out. We're not going to fully cook it because it will continue to cook in the sauce. Okay, so you want to switch the other side once the first side is nice and golden, and you'll know it's ready. It'll release from the pan easily. If it's getting stuck, then you know it's not ready. Again, we're not cooking it fully through. You're just looking to get some nice color on both sides. If you're a neat freak like myself and the sight of all of this oil splattering all over your stovetop is causing you to have like a panic attack, this can also be done in a sheet pan in the oven or any kind of a baking tray for about, same thing, you would cook it just like 2-3 minutes on each side under the broiler. You could do that too. You could also cook it in your barbecue grill. That's an option as well. All right, so we're just gonna take it all out and leave it on this plate, and we're gonna move on to making this delicious sauce. I'll transfer my onions. At this point, what you would have done at home is you would have added your onions to this. There's no need to dirty 2 pans instead of 1. I definitely don't recommend that. But anyway, the onions and the garlic you can put in at the same time, and once the garlic is cooked, just smash it up with the back of a wooden spoon like I just did. It saves a step of mincing garlic or any of that stuff. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add our pureed tomatoes. If you bought crushed tomatoes, let me lower the heat. If you bought crushed tomatoes, then you don't have to puree them. And then we're going to add a little bit of water. Just a little bit of water, and I don't like to waste anything. So I washed out the can and the blender. And then we're going to season the sauce with some oregano, crushed red pepper flakes, if you like the heat. If you don't, just leave it out. A little bit of salt and pepper. Most of the time tomatoes are acidic, so I'm going to start with just a little pinch of sugar, like a 1/4 teaspoon, and I'm going to taste it once the sauce is done. If it needs more, if it needs a little bit more sweetness to balance out the acidity, I'll add a little more, but at this point I'm just going to cover this, and I'm going to let it cook until it thickens, and that's going to take like 5 or 10 minutes on high heat. You can cover it so it doesn't splatter all over your oven. And while that's happening, if you have pasta water boiling like I do, just go ahead and cook your pasta. So when the sauce reduces and thickens just like this, you want to go ahead and taste it and check for the seasoning. For me, that's perfect, but it does need a tiny bit more salt. I'm gonna go really easy on the salt because we're gonna add feta cheese to this. I don't know if I listed it as one of the ingredients in the beginning, but it's one of the main ingredients of saganaki. So now at this point, we are just going to add our chicken back in, and we're gonna cook it just a few more minutes. And we're gonna turn the broiler on high heat inside of our oven, and the rack is gonna be set to the middle of the oven, not right underneath the broiler, because we want this to cook with the heat of the broiler, but not really directly underneath it. We'll put all the juices of the chicken in there too. So the chicken is in there. We're gonna cover this and let it cook just for like 2 minutes. So while the chicken is cooking in the sauce, I'm just gonna cut these scallions, just like that. The tips that are white, we're just gonna save them and put them in our compost. So we're gonna turn the heat off, and then I'm gonna crumble my feta cheese in. So I'm gonna pop this under my broiler for about 5 to 8 minutes, or until the cheese melts, and then I'll show you what it looks like. So as soon as it comes out of the oven, look at how beautiful it looks, and it's gonna look even better with these scallions, which are gonna add freshness and just a nice, very mild onion flavor. And you can definitely put less, but I really love the way scallions taste, especially in this meal. Pretty much, I like them in almost any savory meal, but in this one, they just really add the perfect, it's like something was missing, it's the scallion when we put it in, and everybody loved it. So give it a nice mix. Again, you can serve this aside a nice salad with some toasted hearty bread, or with some spaghetti or your favorite pasta. I'm gonna put some in my plate. That is beautiful. Get the tomato sauce, and I can't bite into it and taste it because it is piping hot, but I will tell you that I've made it a few times this week and everybody loved it. This sauce, this tomato sauce, honestly, if you take any Sunday or any day that you're off and you're doing any kind of meal prep, if you make a few batches of it with just, even without the feta cheese, just the tomatoes, the onion and the garlic with all the seasonings that I put in, and you bottle it and you keep it in your refrigerator, you can use it to make a million things. And I think I might just do a video series on how many things you can make with this tomato sauce, because it is unbelievable. It's so good, you guys. Go on the website. I can't wait to eat this, but anyway, go on the website www.dimitrasdishes.com. Get this recipe. There are so many more. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Comment. Let me know what you want to learn how to make next. Share pictures with me on social media. Subscribe if you haven't, and hit that little bell button so that way you don't miss any recipe. I have a lot more coming, so make sure you stay tuned. Thank you for spending time with me today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.